All it took was Linda Cohn leaving ESPN after over 30 years at the network for her to start speaking on behalf of Caitlin Clark. That's all it took. Leave ESPN, and now the truth comes out. Linda Cohn blasts the WNBA players, blasts the WNBA, blasts the officiating, tells the players they are brainless for biting the hand that continues to feed them. She goes all in on the WNBA players, on the league, on the officiating, and she lets you know all about it. And all it took was leaving ESPN, and we're going to talk about that thing right here, right now. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Indiana Fever Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Like, subscribe, follow, hype the video, leave your comments, man. I appreciate it. My name is Rudy Rodriguez Shoma. You know who I am. Hope everyone's had a great 4th of July weekend. Linda Cohn, longtime ESPN anchor for Sports Center, recently left the network, retired, moved on. And now she's able to actually tell the truth, because when she was with ESPN, I never heard anything like this. And now you have to wonder, is there a complete agenda by ESPN as well? Lots of people think there's an agenda, and Linda Cohn called out, is there an agenda? And yeah, we've all been thinking there's an agenda for quite some time, because it's looking at us right in the face. And now we have to wonder out loud as well, is there an ESPN agenda? Because you only hear the opposite side when it comes up to Caitlin Clark. You only get the Chinea Gumakays. You only get the Drea Carters. You only get everybody else who speaks negatively about Caitlin Clark. Let's take a look at Linda Cohn's commentary that just popped up that she did a couple of days ago. It's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty.
Ever notice when Caitlin Clark is the victim, she never plays the role of the victim? She spoke up publicly for the first time since Alyssa Thomas came out publicly and said she's been getting death threats to her and her family, and there has been racial slurs thrown at her. What I want to know, Alyssa Thomas, have you reported this to the police? Have you reported this to the FBI? Because they'll get on it and they'll find who's responsible.
Damn. That's all it took? Is that all it takes? Is leave ESPN, leave woke you, leave the woke network, leave Disney, and now you can say the truth? Because this is something that we've been calling out for quite some time. If you're getting all these threats, you don't call the league, you call the FBI. You call the police. That's what you do. You don't cry about it. You don't call Kathy and say, Kathy, I need some help. Kathy Engelbert, obviously, WNBA commissioner. You don't do that. You tell your team and you call the FBI. Because guess what? They have the tools and the ability to find these people that fast. It's not hard. But no, we'd rather send some images to Annie Costaball, who will massage them and not show them to us. Because we don't know if they're actually really real. But I mean, hey, we have to trust that it's real, but then you never show it. You never post it. Call the FBI. Not complicated, right? I mean, Linda Cohn's telling you, call the FBI. That's what you do. You don't, I'm getting get the hell out of here.
But back to Caitlin Clark. She always takes the high road in these situations. She did it back in the day with Angel Reese. All these controversies. I love what Caitlin Clark said. I do love that she took the high road here, saying this cannot happen to any player in the league, no matter what the situation is, players, coaches, whatever.
And yet they're still complaining and saying that she didn't say enough. She didn't do enough. Once again, she didn't do enough.
But she also took the time, which I loved, to basically told the league to be better communicating. She also mentioned the officiating very subtly. I'm going to say it with an exclamation point. The bad officiating in the WNBA has led to most of this minutia. Yeah, most of this controversy, all of these controversies. Be better, officials. Is there an agenda here that I don't know about?
Yup, there sure is. And you know about it, Linda. We all have known about it. But again, we calling out the officials. They're bad. They're bad. You know what you don't hear from ESPN? You don't hear them calling out the officials all that much. They don't. I mean, they have a little bit more this year, but then they're very complimentary. You've never really heard them people just go out saying these officials suck. Like, these officials really suck. And You're hearing a little bit more this year, but not like what you need to hear. And how about the WNBA be held accountable and hire people that are competent and hire people that are good at their jobs and I don't know, hire people that enforce rules and make them full-time employees. They should not be part-time employees.
Speaking of agendas, congratulations to Caitlin Clark. 3 straight years named and voted an All-Star Game starter. That's the great news. Second most votes by the fans for Caitlin Clark. The media, third most votes for Caitlin Clark by members of the media. What about other players in the WNBA? How do they feel about Caitlin Clark and how she is as a guard? Well, they ranked her 11th best among guards. Her numbers and all the other votes got her in as a starter despite that stupidity by many WNBA players who had a vote.
Brainless. She just called y'all brainless fools. That's what she called the WNBA players who voted in this, the 85 of the 180 that voted. Brainless.
Unbelievable. Use your brains. Caitlin is putting up over 21 points a game so far this year, over 8 assists a game. Not many players rank in the top 5 with those kind of numbers. Offensive production and playmaking ability. That's what Caitlin Clark is. Why do WNBA players continue to bite the hand that feeds them?
Well, you already answered the question, Miss Linda. You answered the question for us. You just told us they're brainless, and we've known this. That's what brainless people do. They bite the hand that feeds them. They do this type of thing because they know no other way. It's just what it is. They're not intelligent. There's an intellectual deficiency that would make you bite the hand that feeds you, trash the player who's made you money. Yeah, we all know it. They're not too bright. I mean, college degree or not doesn't make you intelligent. I think everyone knows that by now. But yeah, again, you mentioned the 21-8. Yeah, first time ever done. Only player to ever average 21, 8, and 4 in a month. Ever in the history of the 30 years of the league. First ever. And yet we have these conversations constantly about what she's not doing in this spot or in this spot or this area. 21 and 8 and 4. First ever. Only person ever. Again, another example of the only ever. But she's ranked or voted on. She's voted on the 11th amount most ballots. I mean, because there's big people coming saying, well, they didn't rank her number 11. She was voted on the 11th most ballots. Like we all know what the hell we're talking. We get it. We understand. We're not slow. I mean, y'all folks might be slow. I mean, the slows might be slow, but we understand how rankings are based. They're based on votes. And if you're voting for people that are not her, and she's on the 11th most ballots, that means she's ranked 11th. That's literally what rankings are determined. So, hey, it is what it is. It's a very slow community out there in the WNBA, but I'm glad Linda Cohn got on the mic and said what she had to say because all it takes is leaving ESPN, woke ESPN, to actually be able to express your true opinion. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. This is Indiana Fever Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.